Good morning, everyone. It's V, the Grill Economist, and it's 5-minute morning news right here on Rogue News on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, hit us with a thumbs up, hit us with a thumbs up, down, whatever the heck you want. Leave a comment, do whatever you want. Anyway, folks, let's get into it real quick. This broadcast brought to you by the Watch Trade Room, watchestrade.io. Watchestrade.io. Go there. There is an amazing webinar this week on watchestrade.io. It's actually starting tomorrow, so check that out. All right, let's get into the topic of the news today, folks. We have some amazing things. And also, guys, check out the Patreon. Almost forgot to tell you that. The Patreon is where I'm at. Make sure you check that out. Let's get into it. Okay. Another $300 billion in trade. Trump threatens China with tariffs on at least $300 billion in goods. And the escalating war of words between the U.S. and China overnight, President Trump threatened to hit China with tariffs of at least another $300 billion worth of Chinese goods, although he thought both China and Mexico wanted to make deals in their trade disputes with the United States. Our talks with China are a lot of interesting things are happening. We'll see what happens. I can go on for at least another $300 billion, and I'll do that at the right time. Trump told supporters before boarding Air Force One at the Irish airport of Shannon on his way to France for D-Day commemorations. He added that he thinks China wants to make a deal, and I think Mexico wants to make a deal badly. In Beijing, China's Commerce Ministry struck a defiant tone. If the United States willfully decides to escalate tensions, we'll fight to the end. The ministry spokesman Gao Feng told a regular news briefing. China does not want to fight a trade war, but also is not afraid of one. If the United States willfully decides to escalate trade tensions, we'll adopt necessary countermeasures and resolutely safeguard the interests of China and its people. As Reuters reported, China's economic minister also issued a report. Since the U.S. administration took office, it has disregarded the mutually beneficial win-win nature of China-U.S. economic trade and cooperation and has advocated the theory the United States has lost out on China on trade. Folks, look, this is a game of chicken. And I went into detail. If you go on to my Patreon, I'm not, shilling here for my Patreon. It's a great way for you to support me, but I give you a lot of in-depth analysis, unfiltered, from one of the only guys who has been there, done that, and got the T-shirt that is yours truly. One of the things I spoke about, it is a game of chicken. You see, there's a lot of people out there that, there's a lot of rumors and speculation that China has a lot of gold. I'm talking about 20, 30,000 metric tons possible. Okay? That's what's out there. That's what's being said. This whole thing with the trade talks, the trade tariffs, it's pushing China to not only number one, get rid of the dollar because they still have 3.1 trillion in reserves. Okay, they got to do something, and I detail that in my report that I gave on Patreon. It's there for $7 a month. The best geostrategic analysis on planet Earth. Period. So it's the game of chicken. It is a game of chicken. So either two things are going to happen. Either A, China's got to come out and say, hey, look, pull back the curtain and be like, look, we're done with the dollar. We're done with the dollar trade. And this is the amount of gold we have. We're going to have gold as a trade settlement for international trade. It's going to be backed. A trade settlement note was going to be created from this. And we're ready to accelerate the multipolar world. So the two things are going to happen. Either the multipolar world is going to come forward or it's not. It's one of those two things. Either we're going to have a new system based upon mutually beneficial trade agreements, or we're not, and it's going to be the same old, same old. So the ultimate game of chicken is being played. And Mexico is responding quite well on this because now they're putting troops on their border because now they can't, their economies cannot take the hit. It cannot take the hit of tariffs, especially Mexico. So watch out for that one. ScrewTube is on what can we say about ScrewTube? They're on a scorched earth policy. Some soy boy, homosexual, leftist nut job, quote unquote journalist from Vox complained about Steven Crowder, and now so many ad revenues from pretty much every single content creator. Okay, content creator has been pretty much removed. All their monetization is all gone. Okay, YouTube announced Wednesday that it would ban videos promoting glorifying racism and discrimination as well as just denying well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. And the announcement by the Scroogle-owned video sharing platform was the latest of a series of tech industry moves to filter out hateful and violent content, which have spurred calls for tougher regulation. YouTube has always had rules of the road, including a long-standing policy against hate speech. I mean, you have folks. One of the things that's not being talked about, you have major advertisers that are pulling out of this platform. This platform is turning into a dumpster fire, and there's not a single viable platform out there that can pick up the slack. That is just the reality of it. Okay, that's just the bloody reality of it. It's going to be a platform where none of the news, none of the content creators that you like to follow are going to be available, folks. And that's just the reality of it. So look, if you like the work we do and we give excellent work, follow us on the Patreon. We're also rebuilding Rogue, which is going to be incredible. So keep a lookout for that. That's going to be an amazing thing as well. Record number of border crisis for the month of May. They won't go away. For the month of May, they won't go away. Border Patrol officers encountered 144,000 undocumented immigrants at the southwest border in May. Largest monthly total in 13 years, officials said on Wednesday. More than 132,000 were stopped while crossing the border illegally, and the rest presented themselves as legal ports of entry. May marked the third month in a row that more than 100,000 immigrants. Remember that 116 people that were captured from Africa at the Texas border? Could you imagine that? Like, what the hell's going on here? Okay? You got the northern triangle countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. That's where the problems are coming from. More than 19,000 immigrants are currently in the CPB custody. It is literally, it's a full-blown emergency. The system is totally 1,000% broken. It is a shit show of the highest order, folks. A shit show of the highest order. We're being overrun. It is a bloody invasion. It is Cloward Piven being played out in front of your eyes. Something has to get done, and it needs to get done right now. This is V, the Guerrilla Economist. This is 5-Minute Daily News. We're going to have the 10 for 10 at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to go live on my Patreon at 9 a.m. to break down all this even further. This is the Guerrilla, over and out.